everyone, welcome back to my vlog. I'm Robin, or A Hobbit's Reading List, and this week we are recovering from the absolute craziness of last week. Last week was very busy, I had a lot of stuff going on. This week is pretty chill, so we're really just going to focus on reading. I would like to finish 2 books from my August TBR. One of them I'm already like halfway through. So that, well, 2 physical books. Well, how to describe? I would like to finish Macbeth. I would like to start and finish The Adventures of Shelley. And I would like to finish Quickies and Vanity Fair, which I have been reading and listening to all month. That is the goal. If I'm able to accomplish that, who knows? But that's what we're going to do. Okay, so hopefully it's not too loud, and hopefully I'm not too sweaty. So I just finished reading Quickies, thankfully. I feel like it's taken me a month. For the most part, and if you've seen my other vlogs where I talk about nonfiction books, like, I don't have a lot to say that's new. I will be honest, the last 3 chapters I sort of skimmed because they were just like repeats of information. And yeah, anyway, I did think it was well written. It was easy to read. There wasn't too much like jargon or anything like that. It was well researched, and so because of that, I gave it 4 stars. Mainly because the last 3 chapters, like I said, were just like repeats of things that had already been gone over. So had already. No, I think that was correct. I don't know. Sorry if that bothered anyone else's ears like it did mine. But yeah, so I it was fine. Just another update. I listened to another hour of Vanity Fair. Still enjoying it. I want to be done. Not because I'm not enjoying it, but just because I want to be done. Now there's a train, so I'm going to end this clip, and next time you see me, I will have hopefully finished another book. I haven't filmed any B-roll, which bums me out. I like showing like snippets of my life, and I haven't done it because I haven't done anything interesting this week. Really quick update because I have to go to personal training. But after I filmed yesterday, I read a chapter of Convergence culture, which I'm reading for a class. So I got that knocked out of the way. It took like an hour and a half, but it was really interesting. It was about knowledge communities, which are essentially like a group of people within like a fandom who band together to combine knowledge to accomplish a goal. What I was reading about was specifically like spoiler communities, so people who band together to combine knowledge to figure out something that's going to happen in a show before it's released. So the example I was reading about was the Survivor community, the show reality TV Survivor, but I couldn't help but think about how it, you know, when Game of Thrones was on, like everyone was trying to like find clues and everything. So it was really, or like Marvel movies. So it was really interesting to read about. It just like took me a little bit because it's nonfiction and I read it slow. Other than that, I also listened to another hour of Vanity Fair. It's getting, well, it's been interesting. I've been saying that the whole time, but it is, I'm excited for some developments that's going to happen and for some offspring to age. I don't want to say more than that. So there's that. And I just finished reading Macbeth. So I'm not going to talk a ton about that because it's going to be in a different video. I did give it 4 stars. And if you want to know why, you will watch that video at some point soon. But I'm going to go to training and then work on my to-do list. That's about it. Okay, so I've decided to make this a 2-week vlog because I really didn't do much last week. Trying to think. I think the last time I filmed was Friday, maybe? So I've listened to more of Vanity Fair. I had not a realization because I knew it, but like I finally found the words for kind of like a theme of Vanity Fair, because it is following these two women who went to school together, and it follows them throughout their lives of getting married and having kids. And it is Regency, and so they're very like strict sort of social rules. And it occurred to me yesterday was that like one of the themes of the book is highlighting like no matter what a woman does, they're kind of screwed. Like they can either play the game like one of them does, like, you know, plays the game of like using every weapon that she has, every manipulation that she can do to come out on top. She can do that and she'll still not win. Like, she'll still suffer. But on the other hand, the other woman, the foil, can do everything right, everything that she's supposed to do, be this like innocent, beautiful, kind of naive, like woman who follows what the men around her say, and she still doesn't win. Like, she's still looked down on, she still suffers, she doesn't have a perfect life. Like, and so I think that's one of the themes of like no matter what a woman does, especially in that time, you're really just sort of screwed. So because it was really interesting, because I'm like, I was thinking about like, why did the author choose to write the story like this? Like, why follow both of them when they only have like, they went to school together, but the story starts with them leaving school, so like we don't even see that relationship between them, and they're so different. But I'm like, oh, okay, it's because like not only are they like conceptually like foils, but like it uses that to highlight this like overarching theme. So it's just really interesting. I am really enjoying it. I have like 7 hours left. So I should finish it this week. I have no reason why I wouldn't. Which is good, because like as much as I am enjoying it like to a surprising amount, I was actually like not thinking I was gonna enjoy it at all. But like as much as I am enjoying it, I'm ready to listen to a different audiobook. Like, this is 31 hours long. It's just so much, and I have audiobooks on my September TBR that I want to get to. So I'll be very happy to be done with this, actually. Other than that, I read like 13 pages of The Adventures of Sally, where it's literally like Sally has come into inheritance of $25,000, and she's talking with her friends about like how would they spend that money, like what would they do if they came into a large sum of money. And so that's about it. That's all I know. So I think she's gonna travel to Europe or travel to France, I think. But that's really all I know. So that's about it. So today's Labor Day. I'm gonna really focus on like cleaning and reading and see how much I can get done. So let's get into it. Okay, so I wanted to film before I forget again. I have read the first, I don't even know, 5 chapters maybe, of The Adventures of Sally, which is not where I should be. Today is Wednesday, and I need to read so much. Like, I don't know if I've talked about it, but I have to have Adventures of Sally read by Saturday afternoon so that Dad and I can record the podcast. But I also need to have Milk Fed read by Monday evening, as well as book club questions written, because that's when the book club is meeting. So the longer I take with the Adventures of Sally, the shorter amount of time I have to read Milk Fed, which, like, I'm not super worried about because I have a feeling Milk Fed will be more of a compulsive read than Adventures of Sally is. But it's still just like, well, I would like time. I would like to not feel stressed about it. So, yeah. So Adventures of Sally, I think I already talked about it like last week, but it's about a girl who comes into an inheritance, and I really thought it was going to be about, like, what is she going to do with the inheritance? But it's more of, like, she came into this inheritance, but that's not really, like, the plot. The plot is more of just, like, her being, like, very, like, confident and sure of herself and sort of inserting herself in other people's situations. Which normally I would find very annoying. But she obviously does it from a place of, like, care. And, like, she cares about she cares about people very quickly. But, so it's not annoying yet. It might get annoying. But right now it's like, oh, that's nice of you. So Sally seems like a great girl, honestly. The guy she's engaged to seems meh. There is someone else that is the probable, like, real love interest, but they had an interaction, and Wodehouse described, like, literally said that what Sally was feeling towards him was maternal, and I'm like, well, that'll be awkward. If my suspicions are correct. So yeah, so there's that. It's right now we're still getting into the story. Although apparently, because I'm reading on ebook, apparently I've read like 100 and something pages so far, which, like, I find that kind of hard to believe. It feels like not a lot has happened. Although I guess technically she has traveled around, like, the world. Not around, but, like, she went to France for, like, a couple weeks, and then she came back to New York, and so I'm like, she did both those journeys in the space of what I've read, so I guess a lot has happened. So other than that, I haven't read. I do have to read for my homework assignment this, like, thing by Margaret Fuller, which is like 47 pages long. So yeah, so I'm kind of stressed about just, like, how many things I have to read when I don't have like a deadline, like, you have to read this. Depending on the book, I just plow through it. But sometimes if people give me a deadline, then I'm like, My ADHD is super fun and not at all frustrating. So I'm gonna walk a little bit, make breakfast, and then probably try to sit down and read more. Just because I have to. So but I'm also going to lunch and hang out with Stephanie tomorrow, but we do have an end time, actually, so I'll still be able to have, like, time to get things done. It sucks, though, because I also want to clean so that I can decorate for autumn and Halloween, and that has not been happening because I have to read. So, yay. Good morning, everyone. So, I actually read something last night. Super exciting. Is not on my TBR. So, I had to read The Great Lawsuit by Margaret Fuller for one of my classes. It's an essay, essentially. And on Storygraph, it says it's like 37 pages. The edition that I printed, because it's in the public domain, was like 41 pages. The edition that my professor had was 47 pages. So, depending on what form you have, but I did read it. It's on Storygraph as a book, because I was reading it and I'm like, I wonder. I'm like, let me just look. And it was there. So I'm like, counts. I read the whole thing. Counts. It is a really interesting essay. It was published in, 1833, I believe. And it's essentially about how the women at that time were not given opportunity to fully develop as a person, and that is one reason they were not treated as equal to men, and that is not fair. Like, if you boil it all the way down, but also that they were treated like property. As was popular in that time, the women's rights movement was often combined with the anti-slavery movement, because they were both treated as property in very different ways, and a lot of women were activists for the anti-slavery movement, and so they sort of like coexisted a bit. There were still issues with that, but the essay was really interesting. It brought up a lot of really interesting points, and it had a very slow start. It took at least 10 pages for Margaret Fuller to actually get onto the idea of women not being treated equally. The first 10 pages, I was like, I don't know if I can do this, because it was so preachy, and she writes in a mostly ingestible way, but I read her tone as like very preachy at the start, and then like sarcastic at times, but in ways that, like, if I was just reading this and didn't have my professor's like guidance, like, I would have read that as serious, and I would have been like, whoa. so it was just like, oh, okay. But it was really good. It was also like one of the first things, or in the States, saying that, you know, women aren't being treated equally, and that is not acceptable. So, very important. I gave it a 4-star because it's nonfiction, and I tend to give nonfiction 4 stars. Other than that, I'm trying to remember the last time I filmed. Do not remember. I listened to more of Vanity Fair, and I have, I think, like 5 hours left, but a thing happened, and I'm like, okay, we're getting closer to like the thing that I really want to see. Because there's this whole plot that I haven't talked about because it's spoilers, but something happened or something could have potentially happened in a relationship, and there was a paper trail of that thing. The relationship is now over for a reason. I'm really sorry. But if anyone has read Vanity Fair, I think you know what I'm talking about. And we don't know what the paper trail said. We know that it exists. We don't know what it said. And because I read the summary on Wikipedia, I know that it is eventually revealed at the end of the book what the note said. And we're getting closer. The villain, or I don't want to call her villain. I guess antagonist is like the best word, but she's another main character. She just has different morals than Amelia. She's getting her comeuppance now. You know, I had said before that, like, I think Vanity Fair shows that, like, no matter what a woman does, she can't win. And I still think that is very true, no matter that, like, one of the main characters, well, I guess I already said Amelia doesn't suffer in the same way as Becky. Becky definitely gets, she definitely loses. But I do think that Amelia is still not, at the end of the book, like, still not fully happy, no matter what happens. But Becky's about to, really pay for her crimes. And I'm not, Becky committed crimes. Mostly fraud. But, she did what she had to do, or what she thought she had to do. That's where it is. And then finally, I do have to make this quick because I have to go to work. I am at like 77% through Adventures of Sally. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying Sally a lot. Like, I think besides Bertie Wooster, like, she is my favorite Wodehouse main character. She's very, like, she's very direct. She's very sassy. She's very sarcastic. But she cares. And even though the way that she expresses care sometimes doesn't work out for people, she very much cares. The only issue that I have is that I am, and I think I may have talked about this, I am pretty sure I know what the relationship is going to end up between Sally and another character. But this is a character that when they met, she had expressed feeling maternal towards. And I had written, I'm like, this is awkward if this is the pairing. And it's just more and more seeming like this is going to be the pairing. And I'm like, are we going to forget that? And now that, so there has been a time jump of about like, I think like 4-ish months. So obviously maybe that space means that Sally can come back and look at Ginger as not a child. But I read a scene with them after she got back, and I'm like, I think it's still like a child relationship. And so there's a part of me that's like, I don't know. So there's that. Yeah, hopefully, I'm really, really hoping I'll finish it today because I need to start Milk Fed. I need to have that read by Monday evening. And it looks like Monday's going to be kind of a busy day. So, yeah, there's that. That's all the things I read. So I'm going to go to work, try to read as much as I can as Adventures of Sally and finish it. But I also have an assignment. I have to respond to people in one of my classes tonight. But I do have an assignment due Sunday as well. So, yeah, happy weekend to me. Okay, so I finished a book a couple days ago, but I finally finished Adventures of Sally, so that's something. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Sally as a main character was really nice. She did have, like, kind of rapid mood swings. Like, it was very situational, and she would, like, be like, oh, what you're doing is annoying, and then something happened like a second later, and she'd be like, nope, I'm fine. I'm like, it's not usually how that happens, but okay. But overall, I thought it was really good. I thought it was funny. I was correct about the whole, like, relationship and it being with the person who she had like maternal feelings for at the beginning of the book, so that was a little odd. But feelings change and develop, and they're cute together, so it's fine. I gave it 4 stars because I did feel like the rapid mood swings, and then just some of the logic was just a little like wasn't fully cohesive, but I still enjoyed it. It's probably one of the Wodehouse books that I've enjoyed the most this year. So that's good. But Dad and I are about to record the podcast for it, and then I have to do homework today. And then once I finish that, I can start reading Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. So, still very, very busy. I'm not able to do things that I want to do, like clean and decorate for autumn. So that sucks. But hopefully after Monday, I will be able to do that. So. Okay, so I wanted to wrap up this vlog really quickly before I forgot. I have not finished any more books. However, I'm very close to finishing both Vanity Fair and Milk Fed. So I'm going to give predictions of what my star ratings will be based off of where I am currently. So with Vanity Fair, I have 2 hours left, so I will finish it today, which is Monday. And I'm enjoying it. So I'm inclined to say I'm going to give it a 4-star because I am enjoying it, even though it is very, very, very long. It has mostly kept me engaged the whole time. There were some chapters which I felt weren't necessary, but this book, when it was originally published, was serialized, and so it came out in like parts in like weekly or monthly publications. So while I don't think some chapters are necessary because they're kind of like, here's a quick summary of like what these other people are doing, I get it. I get it. So I'm inclined to say 4-star, maybe 3.5, but probably closer to 4. So there's that. Then I have also, I don't know if I haven't spoken since I started reading Milk Fed. So Milk Fed is about a woman named Rachel who has an eating disorder. She is also a like lapsed Reformed Jew. And Milk Fed is predominantly about her eating disorder, but she has a routine, and part of her routine is going to this like frozen yogurt shop and getting like sugar-free, fat-free, I think 16 ounces of yogurt. She's very rigid about her food until one of the employees at the yogurt shop, Miriam, really wants to feed Rachel and you know, have her stop being so rigid, essentially. And it works. Rachel does loosen up, but right now where I'm at, I don't know if that is helpful to her. Like, the routine was dangerous, but not following her routine, I'm predicting she's going to go kind of off the rails. My issue with the book is that it's just not my writing style. Like, it's just not in a writing style that I particularly like. While I don't love, like, super flowery language and sentences that last, like, a whole half a page or something, I also don't like staccato sentences. It just feels like, Rachel did this, then she did this, she thought this. Like, I don't like that either. And that's kind of what it feels like. Plus, Rachel as the person who's, like, perspective we're seeing, I just don't know if I like her as a person. She's not awful. She's just not someone I would want in my life, which is fine. That doesn't determine whether or not the book is good. But it's just, yeah. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm gonna guess probably a 3-star. I have 100 pages left. So I will also be finishing that today. So that's kind of where I'm at. Thankfully, I did finish 2 books this week. That's great. September TBR is looking a lot better than August was. Mainly because I'll finally finish Vanity Fair. That'll give me a lot more time to listen to audiobooks that are definitely shorter. That are not 31 hours long. So there's that. I hope you enjoyed a 2-week vlog. It's a little chunkier than usual, but not by much, because that first week I didn't do anything. But leave me a comment. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you have thoughts on any of these books. Like the video, subscribe, click notification bell. I really appreciate everything. I appreciate everyone watching, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.